uh, recording. So I hope you all agree to recording this. And if you're not, don't say anything and you won't be recorded. Okay? Uh, okay, second thing is I was just explaining that while I focused on fear in creating the invitation, because that is the issue all around the world, you can choose, however, an issue or something else. You'll just have to make the substitution when I say fear. And I'll try to be more flexible than that so that you can treat anything that you want to treat. Make sure the distress level is between 6 and 8. So remember, 0 is neutral. You're neutral on an issue. 10 is high distress. So whatever you want to treat should be between 6 and 8. And I'm going to have you let me know what your rating is in chat so I know how the group is doing. So to begin with, I'm going to ask you your initial rating. That is all I'm going to ask for in terms of feedback. Occasionally we may hear Siobhan's dog. And if you don't want your rating to be public, at the very bottom of your chat screen, it says to everyone. You also have the option to make it private, so only I can see it. So if you want it private, make sure you do that. I'll be able to see your rating. The reason I say this in particular is that some people get kind of competitive. Their competitive nature comes up. And when they see other people's ratings going down and theirs aren't, they get pressured to fudge the number a bit. And this is supposed to be helpful for me to be helpful for you. So if you want to be private, please do that as a way of hiding your response. Okay, just a really quick review of what this MAP session is about. As you've been through sessions before, or you've gone through the recordings introducing you to MAP, what the MAP process is using your subconscious, the superconscious, to treat parts and memories that come up on a particular issue or a particular emotion. When I ask you to explore the issue or what it is you're focusing on, related memories, other feelings, different things pop up into your active memory. This will allow superconscious to treat. It will treat parts that come from trauma because that's when parts were created, when there was an experience that was before the age of 5, very intense. So instead of the main personality remaining there, a part was created to handle the situation. So because of various traumas being created, we have these parts. And these parts get triggered in an adult experience. So anytime you're rejected or get very fearful, these parts may show up. And this is what we're attempting to treat so that the parts become integrated with the main personality rather than remaining aside, because every time the part is active, it throws you off balance. You're not all together. You know what that experience is. Sometimes you decide you want to do something, and that's the main personality, the adult. you've got these other urges inside you saying, no, we don't want to do that. We're not going there, whatever it is. These are parts showing up. And as an adult, you want to be more integrated so that you can move forward with your choices. So this is what MAP is wonderful for, to treating parts, but also treating memories. And the treatment is to neutralize the negativity. You'll have all the information there, all the wisdom, all the coping skills, but the pain and the negativity are neutralized and released. And this will allow you then to move forward, even if you had bad experiences, but you don't carry the weight of the pain and the negativity. And your part becomes integrated with your main personality. So that's kind of the introduction, and I see that you've already begun to give me an indication of what your numbers are, and you're all good. You're below 8 and below. So right now, if you haven't already, please put the number you're starting with, which is the level of distress or the intensity of the emotion that you're going to treat. So I've got someone who's, okay, so as I talk, maybe an issue will come to you. So, hi, Chris, we heard you.
I just got Sage.
Okay, so so if you're going to talk and don't want to be heard, mute your mic, which is looking down to the bottom of the screen to the left. That would be mute. Okay, so everyone so far, okay. If you don't have an issue, think about reading all the things about the coronavirus, about the lockdown in your area of the world, all the many posts and news stories about toilet paper being unavailable, shelves being emptied, and so forth. Read about how the government knew about all the possible problems of this pandemic 2 months before, now 2 months ago, but nothing was done. So when you read and learn about all this, something can come up. You can be annoyed, you can be incredulous, you can't believe it. You move into confusion. So there are lots of feelings that come up around this. If you worry about how you're going to get through the next few months, what's going to happen next week, next month, the news is it's going to get worse and worse and worse. In our state, it is predicted that half the people are going to become infected. So when you hear things like that, something comes up. The child who may be afraid. Okay, so we're done with that. You've got your numbers? Yeah, good. Now, I'm going to invite you to move in just for a minute, move into a quiet place. I usually start MAP sessions officially by inviting you to close your eyes as I am. And then begin to watch your breath. Your breath is a beautiful, beautiful process to watch and to use to move into relaxation. So watch the air moving in and moving out. And as you feel the air moving in and out, the next breath becomes deeper. Breathing in and out. On the next exhalation, you might notice that your muscles are melting. And where there it's not, usually around the jaw and neck, just attention to that will help these muscles join in the relaxation. So we do this to let go of everyday alertness. And so our consciousness can broaden and deepen. So we enter the space of inspiration, intuition, creativity, and play, where all possibilities are present. Good. So you've already consented in watching the earlier videos, but I ask you right now, do I have your permission to command your superconscious mind to neutralize memories during this session and to treat parts? And I get your consent unless you say no. Yeses are coming in. Thank you. Next, for those of you who have had MAP sessions before, this is for you. Superconscious, please treat all parts and memories open to be treated that you tagged from the last time until now. Treat them respectfully, slowly, gently. And after I give Superconscious a message, your responsibility is just to relax and breathe and see what comes up for you. The Superconscious, thank you for that. Now we're turning to the main issue, or any fears that you have that you rated. So now I ask you to explore the issue. Think about it. Memories may come up, past negative feelings, emotions might come up. They come up in the form of anger. It can be as strong as hate or as mild as irritation and frustration and disappointment. Fears that can be little worries or fear that you can actually feel in your body. And anything related to loss, a kind of sadness. So explore the issue, explore feelings and memories connected to that. So I'm going to ask Superconscious to treat whatever is in your active memory right now, whatever's active experience right now. And don't worry, we will go back to gather other material in the, in the rest of the session. So Superconscious, please treat everything associated with this fear, this issue for each person. Neutralize any strong negative or any negative emotions. Neutralize the pain, whatever is being experienced in the memory, all negativity. Please treat them all, neutralize them so that the negativity can be released. Then where disempowering beliefs may have shown up hidden in the experience or in the feeling, please exchange them for positive, ideal memories and emotions. For example, parts may experience fear and felt very overwhelmed. So that part may have created the belief that this is intolerable. It's too much. I cannot stand it. And those parts did something to that emotion. Hidden it from your awareness, totally hidden it in their heart, or the pain, and similarly. So we want superconscious to treat this belief because everything is bearable. You have survived. Nothing is going to kill you. And so these parts can relax their fear of being overwhelmed and their belief that they can't handle it. So superconscious do a massive change history to everything that has been treated. Thank you. Now, during treatment, other memories, other emotions may have come up. And even images might have come up. Or places in your body that are holding the pain, the feeling. Say, it's very common to hold anger in the jaw and in the neck and in the shoulder. So if you notice that you have tension there chronically or right now, pay attention to that as well as we do the treatment. So invite any associations, any judgments related to this issue and these feelings. So open up to what shows up here as you treat an issue or an emotion or memory. Any physical sensations? Any thoughts? Thoughts often reveal hidden emotions or beliefs. Thoughts often reveal strategies which become patterns in your life. So notice all that. Okay, that's enough for now. So I ask Superconscious to treat everything that has shown up for each individual in the time between treatments. Treat especially parts that were created in early trauma that hold the original fear, that in the trauma of feeling separate from what they needed, the protection and love and care, they felt very alone. Fear comes up in relation to feeling really alone to handle their life, what is to come next. So these young parts created before 5 have limited experience. And they may, in their commitment for survival, believe that they have to hang on to their pain and their strategies and beliefs. We remind all parts that they don't disappear. None of the information and wisdom is lost. when they get treated, integration is possible and more satisfaction to all parts and the main personality, and less pain is the result of the treatment. So hopefully all these parts are open to being treated, and the memories are open to being treated. Superconscious, do a complete massive change history and everything after that. There are parts that are called controllers who dominate what is done by the main personality and have veto power and so forth. These controller parts too are included in the parts, so they understand that they can relax their control because their wisdom will be used along with the main personality once treatment is completed and they are integrated. So superconscious, a massive change history for all that came up for each individual and everything after that. Breathe, relax. Now I want you to turn attention to what you started with and give me ratings about where the level of distress or the intensity of the feeling is. And if privately you can let me know something in particular that you think is a barrier for you, you can also include that so I can address that. So looking for numbers from you. Thank you. Ultimately, the goal of this or any MAP session is getting down to a 1 or a 2 or a 0. If you don't get there, we can be in touch. All right. Once again, bring up the issue. Think of other times in your life or in response to a particular person, you've reacted in this particular way. So include your scanning of incidents like this or issues like this appearing perhaps in the work situation or in a personal relationship or in response to the world. So expand all that is associated with what we're trying to treat. You might become aware of barriers such as the fear of vulnerability, the fear of change. Much as we want to change to be better, there are parts of us that don't want change because change means meeting the unknown. So, having gathered everything relevant to this issue, I'm going to ask Superconscious to treat. And in my treatment, other things may come up for you, which then can be treated. So, Superconscious, please treat all barriers that parts and the controller parts and personality aspects bring up because they fear treatment. Treatment meaning that things are going to change and they fear change. Fear of the unknown, which adults can probably experience, especially today in this climate. There can be fear of change, the unknown. And the young parts certainly knew that because when they were separated, when they were traumatized, emotions came up and facing alone whatever was to come. And in this place of being separate, there are beliefs that have come up. Beliefs about, I'm to blame for this, I'm responsible. The reason why I'm being abused, excluded, abandoned is because I'm not good enough, I'm bad, I'm not worthy, I'm not important. So the young parts created beliefs such as that. Feeling guilty for having made mistakes or having done something to create this abandonment, being invisible, is something else that can creep up into the belief system. And strategies that come. If I don't feel I can be loved, there must be things I can do to gain that I love that I need. So strategies get created with these parts that were hurt. Strategies that are things like, everyone else is more important, their needs are more important. I need to take care of them so then I get what I wanted, what I want. So that the parts only see the needs of others. Parts who feel that because they're so bad, they need to be invisible. They need to create patterns of living so they don't call attention to themselves. So this disrespect and disregard of who you are as essence can all happen in the early trauma. And these are the parts, if you can open to them, need to be treated. Reminding these parts that greater satisfaction and less pain is the point of treatment. So superconscious, please treat all the parts with their various defenses, moving out of the body so they're not there. Using suppression and denial of uncomfortable experiences. So treat all the trauma from the moment of conception until now, and treat the parts as they have been triggered throughout the whole lifetime. Do a massive change history and everything after that. Superconscious, I ask you also to treat all the feels, clouds of information that are related to this issue or these feelings. These come from your parents, your family, the community you grew up in, the culture, and through the generations as grandparents and the grandparents before them um, passed on their pain and their strategies, all in the culture, all in the family. So we ask superconscious to treat all these fields that are supported by the pain body of individuals. Treat the pain so that these fields can go back to where they belong and find their peace there, no longer intruding and creating any influence of each person here. So peace to the fields as they slide back to where they belong. Superconscious, treat all of these fields and do a massive change history and everything after that. Next, I want each of you to scan your body, if you haven't already, to see where there's any part that is calling attention through pain, a density, a heaviness, tension, as I said before. When you think about how you feel when you are stressed, see if you can check in to your body and how it responds to stress. So scan yourself from your top of your head to the bottom, to your feet. So now I ask superconscious to treat that part which each individual has noticed that is associated with this issue or with this feeling. So we're asking to treat all the memories and all the emotions in all levels of physiology, meaning with fear especially, that the fight or flight syndrome activated with the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is sort of the controller of the fight or flight. And when you've been traumatized, you've been in fight or flight. And when you've had many traumas and many fears, you activate this. So we're asking superconscious to treat where anger is being held, where fears are being held, where grief is being held, and all the memories associated with them. From the very beginning of conception through all the traumas, superconscious treat all of this in terms of the body, including the DNA, which stores all of this. Treat them so that the body releases the burden connected to these issues and these feelings. Do a massive change history and everything after that. Please include superconscious any treatment of beliefs and strategies that come from a belief in punishment, in karma. a belief in karma, meaning that there is a belief that you've done something in this lifetime or in the past that was so bad that you're being punished. So please treat these beliefs and the acceptance that punishment is appropriate for anything accomplished. Do a massive change history and everything after that. Relax, breathe. And before I ask you for your current rating, I recognize that some of the treatment may activate some things that weren't before, and your number actually goes up. So don't be afraid to acknowledge that. So for now, please give me a rating of where you are. Thank you for your responses. So right now, bring the issue up or the feeling that you started with and any remaining associated experiences that you can remember, other times you felt this way. Bring them all up. And we'll ask Superconscious to treat. Superconscious, please treat whatever is present for each individual. Please communicate with parts that aren't open to treatment. And please communicate with them that they will not disappear, but once treatment is finished, integration happens and they become part of the adult personality with all of their wisdom, coping skills and information. And if there are any parts that hold a sense of being shut out from love, who feel that they want to remain in isolation, please communicate that their resistance will create more pain for the main personality and themselves. That there's everything to gain and nothing to lose by being open to treatment. So superconscious, please treat all these parts, work with them individually so that they open up to treatment by you. And superconscious, please exchange the disempowering negative emotions and memories with positive empowering ones. Please remind all the parts that before they were created, they were innocent, pure, and connected to unconditional love, abiding peace, with source, with higher power, with the universe, with spirit. So superconscious to exchange the disempowering negative aspects of these experiences with positive ones. Positive ones that the adult can remember when they felt truly loved or held, even if it was for just a minute, because someone saw them, acknowledged them, accepted them, and let them be however they were, that they tasted of that unconditional love. That is still there, even if that person or moment is gone. Whether you heard this in scripture, in church, or experienced it in family or a friend, or in nature, when you can forget your small self, lost in the beauty, the warmth of the sun, the groundedness of walking the earth that will never allow you to be flung away from the ground. These are aspects of the universe that you all know. This is an expression of love that is there for you if you open up to it. It's always there for you. It's just watching and listening and sensing and being aware. So we want the empowering aspects of these experiences to replace the disempowering ones that are connected to the memories and the early child experiences. Remember, love never disappears, but in our humanness, we forget. In our humanness, we think, well, this person isn't here anymore. The mother's love that I have is not there anymore. No, we've just forgotten. Love never disappears. It's there. Love from the universe is always here. We just turn away from it. So superconscious do a massive change history and everything after that. Thank you. Okay, returning to the original issue or feeling, please indicate where you are now. So, except for a couple of you, people seem to be either 0, 1, or 2. That's excellent. Thank you. I haven't heard from Lisa or Scott. Are they still here? Yeah, you're still here. How are you doing? So I'm still waiting to hear from Lisa and Scott. Thank you for letting me know how you're doing, folks. Okay. So for those of you who aren't down to 2 or lower, please be in touch with me and we will talk about possibilities, okay, to deal with the issues that were brought up and treated here. So I'm going to close this map session by asking Superconscious to do the last 3 end of session procedures. And the first is to treat all memories and all levels of physiology. The second one is to let all memories return to the matrix of the universe where they belong. And the third is to tag and treat any parts and memories that come up between now and the next session and treat them the best to the degree that they're open for treatment. So thank you, Superconscious, and thank each of you. You can email me or message me about any particular messages you have and any questions that you have. I appreciate all who have shown up. Yeah. Thank you. So, as a final thing, I want you all to imagine that we are in a circle. And since it's a virtual circle, we can hug or hold hands. Let's hold hands in a circle and imagine that we have the world in the middle of our circle. And we want to think connectedness with each other as we are here. And for those of you who can stand in peace, love, and forgiveness, please do. And feel the energy of that peace, love, and forgiveness move across to each other through our hands. Because this is what the time is all about, isn't it? To stay connected, to stay in forgiveness, to see each brother, each sister as us. So thank you very much. And I will stop the recording.